This is my wife's 2008 Honda Fit fog light, driving light, whatever you want to call it. I think this is a pretty common occurrence with these guys. This is real glass. They go ahead and they crack, and there's really not an inexpensive alternative. You can buy like a whole new unit, but what we're going to go ahead and try is we're just going to go ahead and replace this glass with this piece of Lexan or plexiglass. I'm not exactly sure what it is. My wife bought it for me because she really wants this fixed, and I've always told her I was going to do it. But we're going to go ahead and get started so that we can finally run with a light bulb that's not going to break. The first thing that we're going to want to do is go ahead and remove the rest of the glass here. And I recommend gloves. This stuff is very sharp. And as you can see, there is a little bit of silicone already on it. Silicone, I'm going to go ahead and just call it silicone, but we're going to go ahead and finish removing the rest of the glass. And I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera so I can just do it over the garbage can. But as you can see, it comes off pretty easy. Then after that, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to remove as much of the silicone as I can, this adhesive. Yeah, glass is going, okay, I'm going to go ahead and, well, we're too far in now. We're just going to, yeah, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and try to clean this as best as I can off camera. Make sure there ain't no more glass shards. And then basically what we're going to do after that is we're going to set it on this and make ourselves a nice little pattern. It's not going to have the curvature like the glass does, but at least whenever a rock hits it, it's going to flex a little bit. It's going to have a little bit of give. My wife bought this at the Hobby Lobby, our local Hobby Lobby, and I would probably recommend maybe something a little bit thicker, like from Lowe's. But she really wants me to get this done, and I haven't bought it from Lowe's, so we're just going to roll with this and see how it does. It is non-glare, so we got that going for us. I got the glass out. I went ahead and tried cleaning up that inside as best I could, but unfortunately I believe it's just plated, as this is like a, I don't know, a cast metal piece, probably like a pot metal, and it looks like it's just been plated silver on the inside for reflectiveness. And unfortunately, because that glass had been broken for so long, it's just oxidized and it's faded off. And I don't know if you know of some way of polishing up the inside, leave it in the comments below, so that anybody that's watching this can have some ideas of what they can do to kind of clean it up. The only thing I'm worried about right now is getting this lens put back on so that this is a usable light. Kind of wanted to see how well. Nope, it's cracking. So do not use scissors. Yeah, that's turned out horrible. All right, let's try something else. So my little alligator clamp idea isn't going to work so well. The lip's pretty good right here, but whenever it gets to thin right there, there's nothing really to clamp onto. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use a wood clamp, and then I'm going to space these two pieces of cardboard out, and I'm just going to go ahead and press it down on there, and then we'll have a pretty good conformed base to go ahead and get our glue going. So just got to verify that this is in fact, which side is this on? I forget which side. Make sure you take the plexiglass off the side you're gluing. That's all I really have to say about it right now. So anyway, we're going to get some silicone going, and hopefully I don't mess this up too badly. Just wipe off the excess. I did verify which side the plexiglass film was still on. So we're going to set that guy on there like that. Alright, we're going to see what that does. It's had about 24 hours to dry. I put this heat lamp on it to kind of speed it up a little bit because of the colder temps around here. It's this silicone is old. I think it was starting to separate. I don't think it adhered very well. But that's just kind of the theme that we're going for on this little project here. I guess if you're really into it, buy yourself a new tube of clear RTV from the auto parts store. If you watched a little earlier, whenever I was trying to clamp this down, this guy was kind of moving on me. The base was staying in place, but the housing was sliding back and forth, and so we ended up with a little bit of silicone on the inside there. But I think this was a good practice. I'm sure I'll have to do this maybe in the future, and it'll go a little bit easier and I'll know what I'm doing. But experience is that thing you need whenever you're done doing the job. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now is we're going to trim some of this stuff, this excess silicone off, and then we're going to take a little grinder and grind the excess of the plexiglass, and then we'll put it all back together. Well, it's not my best work, but we'll hopefully it just keeps the bulb out of the elements, and we're going to go ahead and start the process of putting this back together. I wanted to point out that I did have to use my cutoff wheel to get this screw out because it was really seized in there, and I'd stripped out the Phillips head pretty well, and I just had to use a cutoff wheel and make a notch in there so I can use the big screwdriver. So let's go ahead and put this guy all back together, and we'll see how it does. So on one side you have a screw that I just squirted some WD-40 in, and on the other side you just kind of have this alignment pin guy. It's I think it's basically so you can rotate it because it goes on the side with the adjustment nut. So we'll go ahead, and then you have one small screw down here. Okay, and then this side. There's even a guide pin for the that screw as well. That makes it pretty nice. I would have showed you how I disassembled it, but I really wasn't sure what I was doing at the time. And yeah, I probably don't know what I'm doing right now, but we're going to put this back together. Now, like I said, you can buy the entire housing. The only bad news is it's not going to be color matched to your bumper. It's just going to be black. Unless your bumper's black, and then you're good to go, but we're not talking about you. There we go. I'm going to leave it as tight as I found it. There you go. Go ahead and open this bulb up. Then I can go and throw it back in my wife's car. And we'll see how long it takes for the water to seep in. Because like I said, do yourself a favor, get yourself some good silicone. Don't use the stuff that's been laying around in your garage for the last couple years. Alright. Also, there's one bolt that holds this whole assembly in. It just kind of slips in with the bumper on this side right there. This would be considered the outside. On the inside, right where your air dam is, where your air intake kind of goes in, there is one screw right there, and that guy is a 8mm. So just one last thing for you to know. Yeah, not real happy about the whole silicone thing, but I don't know, I don't even know if my wife's going to notice. I did start taking apart the adjustment, thinking that's how I took it apart, but that actually changes the elevation of the driving lamp, and I think it stuck out just a little bit higher. And I'm not sure what exactly all it's adjusting. I'm guessing that's going up and down, yeah. But I think that's where I found it, so I think I'm going to leave it right there. The bad news is if you want to change this, you got to pop this whole assembly out and do it over again. But, oh well. Alright, well, thanks for watching again.